I just noticed that there was one note here, this E, that was standing out a little bit louder than the others. So I don't want to change it too much, but I just want to make a little bit of a difference to bring it down a tiny bit. So I'm going to push a short needle into the hammer in a very specific place. And we also support the one that we're needling by holding the hammers either side of it in groups of 3. Very specific. And as the needle's pushed in, I'm supporting it with my thumb on the other side so I don't strain the hammer. And it's only a tiny bit. It doesn't need very much at all. If I'm tuning for a concert, I'd like to have an hour and a half. That would be sort of comfortable. I just like being able to make people make things possible for people to make beautiful music. And there's nothing quite so satisfying as sitting in the auditorium when you've set the piano up and listening to somebody playing it and making it sound beautiful. That's what it's all about, really.
I'm super excited to be coming to Manchester to film a little documentary about the James Mottram International Piano Competition. In fact, we're going to be filming the preparation for it, what it takes to organize an international piano competition. Join me. Delighted to chat to Harriet, who is one of the organizers of the competition, and Harriet is the programming coordinator. James Mottram Piano Competition, it's a very prestigious competition in the UK, but it's maybe not as well known as, let's say, Tchaikovsky, Van Cliburn, or Liszt or something, but there's still a lot of people who want to apply and participate. So why is it important for young pianists to play in this particular competition?
I think it's a great platform for them to come here to Manchester to play on the RNCM Concert Hall stage. They have a lot of opportunities as well for those who don't get through to the next round. We offer the masterclasses with our international jury, who are fantastic musicians, and so we hope to offer those inspiring opportunities as well to those perhaps who don't progress.
So it's a chance really to be seen, be heard.
Yes, absolutely.
Get some feedback, advice on future development, your future career. So it's quite interesting. It's sort of like, exactly as Harriet said, a platform. You try out and then you go up. I guess it's what tennis players do. Before Wimbledon, which is a huge tournament, they play at Queen's. A grass court, right? So it's important because the nerves come in. It's a fantastic hall, fantastic acoustic, fantastic instrument. So it's a sort of a chance to play through on that level, I guess, before then you develop to something that can really change your career. And this is one of the gongs. Maybe it's used to start the competition, Everyone should come in. You see, we have quite a selection. Frankly, I don't think they will be using it, but it would be quite tempting, wouldn't it? Like, go! I'm delighted to introduce Graham Scott, who is the artistic director of James Mottram Piano Competition. We're here in Manchester at the Royal Northern College of Music, and so I have hundreds of questions to Graham. Interesting competition, has a great story, about James Mottram. He was quite a character, right, James Mottram?
Oh, he was amazing. During his lifetime, he wanted to have a competition to celebrate his favorite composers, Scarlatti, Chopin, and Debussy. But when he died, he left his entire estate to the college, some £900,000.
Who was he?
Well, he was a very bright individual. He had a degree in psychology from Oxford University. He was a lecturer in politics at the University of Salford. And I believe that he actually made his money renting bedsits to students in Salford. So the money has sort of gone full circle, that he made all this money from students renting out property, but now we get to give the money back to students who are now taking part in the competition here in Manchester.
When did he leave? So how many years has this been going on for?
Okay, the first competition was in 2008, and he sadly died in 2007. Now,
Pretty recent, actually.
pretty
I mean,
recent,
yes,
but
wow.
in the terms of the will, he didn't want the competition to last more than 20 years, and he wanted it to happen every 2 years.
Right.
So we have to adhere to the terms of his will, and that's what is happening.
So, Graham, where are we going now?
We're on the first floor above the library, and this is where our students and the participants of the competition are going to be practicing.
Yeah, and what sort of pianos are there? Friends? What are the
Primarily Steinways. We have 51 Steinways at the college, 126 pianos overall.
Okay.
The rest of them are Yamahas, but we do have a Lonely Bosendorfer,
Oh, right.
which is a fabulous piano.
Oh, is it the big one, the VC 280, I think.
This is a smaller one,
Okay, yeah, of course. Yeah,
but it's a very fine instrument.
lovely.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is one of the participants in here.
Perfect. Oh, yes.
Do you want to say
Yes,
hello to
It
him?
would be nice, exactly.
Hello.
Hello, Professor.
We're doing a documentary. We're filming.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Oh, lovely. I'm Yuliana. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice. What are you practicing at the moment?
I'm practicing this La Campanella.
Yes, yeah. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Let's see. Well, all the best of luck for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, did you already try the piano?
Yes.
Which one did you choose?
I choose Stanley. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. Gosh.
Good luck. Bye bye.
Thank you.
So here we are, 333. It's good that it's not 666.
Yeah, no devil. I can do a bit of my Szymanowski.
Szymanowski is great. Let's make it nice. I'm delighted to chat to Philip, and so Philip is one of the competitors, and you came all the way from Sweden, although you are originally Polish but also live in Denmark, so
Yes.
sort of this kind of journey. How was the journey, by the way?
Actually, it was quite a nightmare, I would say, because we had a storm here in Manchester on Friday, and I was arriving in the evening. So we actually had to stay 45 minutes up in the air, circling around the Manchester airport. And when we were trying to descend, it was almost impossible. The plane was going literally. I thought we will die today.
No, like seriously, it was that scary.
It was very, very scary. And at the end, we did land, but then someone in the plane had a heart attack. And the stewardess had to do heart massage 3 times. But at the end, she did survive. I've done quite a few competitions around the world, and it's always a very good experience somehow, because even though you don't maybe pass the rounds, you meet some kind of people that
Such a good attitude.
in the end it's about being seen on the musical platform and on the international stage. So I'm very happy that I can do that, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Mostly you lose because this game is difficult. I mean, there will only be one winner. So I've started to appreciate just going, showing my music.
Yes, hi, I'm Yulia. Nice to meet you. Hi, Vincent.
Hi.
So Vincent is one of the competitors, and yeah, I'm delighted to meet you, and
my
welcome
pleasure.
here, I guess. Right?
Thank you very much.
And you had actually a good flight, right? Because we've been talking to other participants who had absolute nightmares, right? So from Vienna. But there was something you mentioned to me earlier in the conversation about the new rules. So what happened?
Yes, so all of us competitors were extremely lucky to have arrived on Sunday, as from Monday there is, due to this new variant of the virus, if we had arrived on Monday we would have to quarantine for 2 days, or isolate for 2 days, before we get our day 2 result. And this would have been a catastrophe, because none of us could have played in the first round, and we wouldn't have been able to select our piano, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a disaster for the competition as well.
Yeah.
Because how can you have a competition where some competitors, don't play and some
Yeah.
play?
Everything would have had to been postponed and it would have been a mess, I think. So we got very lucky.
Actually, have you applied for this competition? What are you trying to achieve out of it?
Well, when I saw the repertoire list, I was very intrigued because, of course, there's these strange, well, not so strange, but I suppose unconventional decision from this James Mottram that we should not play repertoire after 1918. And, well, to be quite frank, I love this repertoire after 1918. There's a lot of great repertoire out there. But I was very interested in the idea that we have to play Scarlatti, Chopin and Debussy, as they're also composers that I really adore. And yeah, I mean, in the summer I was already working on the ballad a lot, and I saw this competition online and I thought, oh, okay, here's somewhere I can really, present my work that I did over the summer, and I can also learn some Scarlatti sonatas, and I would have never learnt Debussy Images Book 2 if it wasn't for this competition.
And you also arrived in time for your piano selection, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about it. Was it a difficult choice?
I think it was, because both instruments were very good. Sometimes competitions offer pianos which are, well, they're nice, but they don't always do what we want them to do. I recorded my whole piano selection process, and after listening to it and sending it to friends and asking, oh, what do you think? I came to the conclusion that actually, well, the Yamaha seemed like the best option. Mechanic-wise, I found it very easy to play, which is always a really nice thing, especially with lots of technical repertoire. But I found that I was really having to work for the sound. But actually, from the audience, from their perspective, the piano was singing really beautifully, and actually the Steinway was maybe too much in some places, and also the pedal on the Steinway was so much more exponential with the way it collects its sound. So I found that, like, actually the Yamaha kind of had this clarity that I need.
I'm about to meet Rose McLaughlin, and Rose has been, of course, a piano ambassador at the Leeds piano competitions. Why have you applied for this competition, James Mottram piano competition?
Well, I think at the beginning it was, a chance to record, get some good quality recordings, which I find quite difficult to have very short pieces and just get one try to do it. And then also I think just preparing a larger program has been quite challenging for me to balance everything at the same time. And I think it's really developed me as a character as well as performer. The way I'm looking at this competition, I think, was inspired by the way they looked at Leeds, and just being very grateful to perform and just trying to give to the audience, and that's how I'm trying to look at this competition.
How much practice do you do on the day?
Actually, at the piano, not a lot, because I'm trying to conserve energy for the performance, but maybe an hour, and then a lot just looking at the score and going through my head, all the characters and colours and everything like that.
Yeah. And you will do a piano selection, you will do that, and what are the sort of qualities of an instrument you will be looking for? I don't know, sort of what are you assessing?
I think the main thing is the sound and the tone of the piano. So not too bright and not too dull, and then probably the action. It's
The
a very,
touch, right?
yeah, very light, and everything is easy.
Just leaving.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we are at the Royal Northern College of Music Concert Hall, and here are the two pianos actually, the Steinway and the Yamaha. It's very interesting to see how they differ and to try them actually, which I will be doing. So let's have a look. The hands are a bit cold, but let's see what works. Interesting. So I can feel that I can definitely go a tone lower, and Steinway will definitely allow me that. Very interesting. It's kind of quite a high range that you can do and control. Well, I think this is what's most interesting about the pianos. And let's have a look at the Yamaha, which is also CFX are great. And let's have a look. Let's have a look at the same pieces. So the first one was the Chopin Nocturne. I think I would probably prefer, although I like this sound, I would probably prefer the sophistication of Steinway. But probably if we take something Baroque, like let's say Scarlatti, I can imagine this sound would fit really well. It's hard to play with cold hands, but it's really it's very responsive. Also, if you take maybe some Mozart. That's lovely. And so I'm delighted to introduce David, and David will be tuning Yamahas, and he's responsible for this lovely big instrument rather than little one. I feel that that this particular instrument is kind of very well suited for, let's say, Baroque classical repertoire. And technically, why could this be the reason, or is it something due to voicing, or due to, you know, the way that actually the piano, just the piano works?
Well, I think at this stage, because the hammers are still quite new, the hammers have a sort of like a tip of the tongue quality, so that the tone is still quite, it comes out very quick, and the tone we hear is quite immediate, whereas the Steinway maybe is much more a relaxed tone.
Mm-hmm. And this is usually because I'm thinking that actually the same is then with Steinways, that they're very new. You know, they
think
they
so.
need to be warmed up, and they need
Yes,
to be
and broken
played.
in.
Right. This is an interesting word you use. So we kind of need something to be broken in. So literally, you know, there is almost like a breath that to give it to the piano.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like a comfortable pair of shoes.
Okay. I think I'll never use that, but I will think about this, you know, from now on. And so, what with new pianos particularly? Do they go wildly out of control? You know, do they have ups and downs, or they're very easy to tune?
Well, every piano is different. I think if they're set up well, they stand a good chance of being consistent and remaining well. But they will gradually, I think, relax into a more controllable piece of equipment.
So we kind of don't know the actual sound of this piano. That's what you.
I guess not. I guess it still has time to really find its personality.
I'm delighted to chat to Marianne, who is, here the official tuner, I think, right, of the Royal Northern College of Music.
Yes, I'm the head piano technician here at the college,
fantastic.
so I look after the fleet here.
Yes. And this is one of your sort of babies, as we can say.
It is.
What are the key aspects of a piano being a good piano? What has to be in place, you know?
Well, I think
there is a difference in Steinways as well, you know, we
of
all
course.
know.
Yeah, there is. And, you know, pianos that are destined for the big stages are selected very specifically for those purposes in the factory. So, you know, there are some that are better chamber instruments and some that are better concerto instruments, and that is intrinsically to do with the soundboard and the way that the structure has been put together.
That's a very interesting thing. So you say there are, on top of things, there are actually pianos that are better even for concerto performances, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Than the solo recitals. And is that then, let's say, a job of a technician to present a pianist a piano to say, well, this is it, because this will, I don't know, respond better, you know, be louder, project more, you know, for a bigger hall, for a...
Absolutely, absolutely, that would be part of it. And this is one of the things in the selection process today that I've been watching most of the day. And it's really interesting because the pianists have a difficult job. They've got to find a piano that will do Scarlatti,
yes,
but they've got to do a concerto at the end. So it needs to be, they choose one piano for the whole competition. So they've really got to choose for every aspect. And it's got to be a kind of a compromise.
Nice to see you here, and I know Henry from Chet's piano school in Manchester, so yeah, back to Manchester, from Manchester to Manchester. You study here?
Yeah.
Feels home?
It does.
Yeah. So, a bit nervous before the competition, or not so much?
Of course, a little bit, but I just enjoy performing really, so
Nice.
I don't let the nerves get to me.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
So, when did you decide to apply, and why did you decide to apply?
In summer, I think. Partly I had some of the repertoire that they required, and partly it's just nice to have a goal to work towards.
What is the longest you've practiced for this competition?
Well, I actually mainly practice away from the piano, to be honest.
Oh wow!
Yeah, mainly I
That's cool.
just do mental practice.
Right.
Mostly actually. So
Yeah.
maybe do 2 hours at the piano per day, and then 3 or 4 or more away from the piano.
And do you sort of just play internally, or do
Lots
you
of
think
different
about
things.
it?
Yeah, lots of different
Well,
things.
tell me about it. It's interesting.
It's a lot of it is analysing the music, analysing harmonic analysis and structural analysis. Yeah, that's a huge amount of what I do, which helps with memory and also phrasing and pacing of the music and all of these kinds of things. And you can even practice technical passages in your head. Like,
I know that.
It's very helpful. And when you go back to the piano, you feel a real marked improvement. So.
But you know, we don't have the 20th century at all.
Yeah.
Do you feel, you love this repertoire? Is it something you kind of attracted to as a pianist, or do you feel it's just a shame that there isn't a 20th century there?
No, I like all the music I've programmed. That's why I've programmed it, because I love it. I've played lots of 20th century music and 21st century music, but I'm not disappointed that I'm not allowed to play it. It's perfectly fine.
Welcome here. I know it was a difficult journey for you to get here. Yeah. And a couple of questions, really. I mean, first of all, can I talk about the sort of a piano? What are the things you're looking, when you're choosing an instrument? When you play the piano, what sort of responses you're looking for?
Well, I've got to be honest. The first thing, the most important thing to me, is that I'm able to control it. Because most of my practice these days, believe it or not, is actually done on an electronic keyboard at the moment. So yeah, it can be a little bit of a culture shock, shall we say, going onto a proper instrument. So something I can adapt to quickly, something I can control, something that will give me a real variety of sounds that I don't have to work too hard for.
On a keyboard, yeah. But are you now, are you studying, or you finished? Or
no, I've finished. I studied here actually for 4 years. I did my undergraduate here, and then I did a master's at the Royal College. I'm 27 now, so I've only got a few years left of competing, and I've just enjoyed it so much. I thought, well, let's go back. Let's go back home to Manchester.
Kind of, did you decide to enter? You mentioned you sort of enjoying yourself a little bit, just competing for fun, maybe? Or?
Yeah, I suppose so. To be honest, I stopped myself from competing, and I had a bit of a history of pulling out of competitions. Probably insecurity more than anything else. Probably just thinking, I'm not really good enough, and don't want the disappointment of not getting through. And the immaturity of that attitude has really left me now, and I kind of just want to go and have experiences. I don't enter things to win them. I enter things to meet people, hear other people play, and obviously play my best, or try to play my best.
Different perspective,
I'm not one of these pianists that can just practice all year long, because some people, they never leave their practice room, and they work everything out to the nth degree, and you just feel quite sorry for them, really, because they've not got any life. No,
exactly.
I'm not that kind of pianist. I'd have probably been a better jazz pianist, really, if I'd gone into that instead.
And now we're going to go to the hotel where all the jury stays, and we're going to talk to Alexei Lebedev. Actually a fellow Russian, I believe, right?
A fellow Russian.
Fantastic, let's go. And here it's great to chat to Alexei Lebedev, jury member and fellow Russian. However, he just come from Korea.
Yes, right.
And you sort of divide your time between South Korea and Germany, where Alexei sort of teaches and has also performing career, of course.
Great
you have an
time.
important job here. You know, you're a jury member.
Yes, very important.
Very important.
Very
So-
difficult, actually.
Yeah. Why is it difficult?
So many people thinking, oh, jury member, they need just listen and enjoy the music. And it looks just fantastic, but actually difficult is to make somebody happy with point, and somebody, of course, no, it's impossible that everybody will be winners, right? We have usually one first prize, one second prize, one third prize, and other people semi-finalists or just participants. And it's a big question to choose the right one, and big responsibility. So now each time I'm going to the competition, I'm thinking this job is a very difficult job.
What is the criteria? Do you have certain criteria, or sort of in your heads?
Well, my criteria is interesting performance, very exciting, really something artistic. But because I'm a professional musician, of course I'm looking for professional sides as well. So it must be, in my opinion, very good combination, artistic things and professional knowledge. And this combination cannot be this way or this way. It must be balanced. Yeah.
Wrong notes.
Wrong notes. Yeah.
What do you make out of wrong notes?
Well, it's actually funny question. What is actually wrong notes? The wrong notes has different meaning, right?
You're right.
So if you are fully together with music and it just happened that you
hit the
played
wrong notes,
right,
yeah.
right. If performance enough musical, enough energetic with passion, the public, as well as professional public, will never recognize these wrong notes as wrong notes.
Be your advice that you give to the competitors, if you were to give them advice.
Never give up, because it's a very sensitive moment to participate at the competition, and sometimes participants think, even they didn't start to play first round, they're thinking that I'm not ready enough. Something missing, but this thinking is all right. Everybody has. Nothing is perfect. The art cannot be perfect. So never give up. Even during playing, you are not satisfied with your performance. Play as much as you can fantastically until the end of your performance, and this energy jury will feel during performance.
I'm extremely honored. And I must say, I'm a little nervous before chatting to such a legend as Piers Lane, which is incredible. So Piers is a phenomenal pianist. You know, you're also kind of a phenomenal performer and just, I think, a wonderful human being. We just met, but you're wonderfully warm. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Likewise.
Thank you very much. So, as an artistic director from Sydney, and also coming here as a jury member, so do you then get inspired? You might say, "Oh, I like this idea." I might
Absolutely.
introduce this here,
Yeah, always on the lookout for ideas. It's fascinating for me to hear competitors play live. You know, with Sydney now, all of the pre-selection is done by video. We get about 300 applications and they have to be whittled down to just 32.
Has there been a situation where you've been really drawn to someone and the jury has been drawn to someone else, and then you had this sort of
Sure. Just this year.
fights, but maybe heated discussion?
Well, you don't have heated discussions really. I was judging the Yehudi Menuhin violin competition earlier this year. It was meant to take place live in Richmond, Virginia, and we were all meant to play chamber music, and all that didn't happen. It was all online. And I happened to be doing quarantine in an Australian hotel for the finals. But there was one chap in the senior section, but could have been in the junior section, a Ukrainian boy, who I thought was just an extraordinary musician and talent, and he didn't get through. And I thought, why not? So, you know, sometimes, you know, you respect other musicians' opinions totally, but it's extraordinary sometimes how you can have very different opinions. And that's why it's important, as in this competition, to have 7 judges or so, not just 2 or 3.
And let's chat a little bit about the pianos and about the piano selection. So you have something quite special in Sydney, don't you?
We do. I decided for all sorts of reasons to prescribe pianos. And so we have 4 brands, Steinway, Fazioli, Yamaha and Kawai. And so when all the competitors' names are drawn out of the hat, a couple of months before the competition, we draw a piano brand out of a hat as well. And so that brand starts the competition. And the first 8 competitors of the 32 to play that piano. The next 8 play the next piano on the alphabetical list. The following 8, the following piano, and the final 8, the final piano brand. And all of the 32 competitors play twice for the preliminaries. There are 2 rounds. So they move on to the next one in their piano list. Yeah. And so they've each played a European piano and a Japanese piano by the semi-final. Then in the semi-final, the 12 of them play the next 2 pianos for the 2 rounds of the semi-recital, then chamber music round. So by the time the final comes around, they're allowed to choose which of the 4 piano brands they would like to play in the Sydney Opera House. And of course, they've had the experience of all of them, and they have the knowledge that they've got through.
I'm delighted to chat to Carlo, and it would be very, very interesting to find out, Carlo, sort of your expectations. You know, it's not your first time here, right?
It is my first time.
Uh-huh.
It is my first time, but I know the competition and the high level of this competition.
But I wanted to ask, so for example, there are morning slots and evening slots, and sometimes people might be not very, let's say, awake at 9:30. Do you give any discount? Let's say if the first piece is a little snoozy or sleepy, and then the person warms up, do you give a little sort of? Is there a room?
This is our job. We need to be professional every time.
I didn't mean you. I I meant if
you mean for the contestants?
Yes, for the contestants.
Well, it's the same thing. The competition is a challenge for them. They need to be prepared to any kind of situation in their professional life.
Yes.
That's what the competition
it is about.
is.
Yes. Well, we have heard the news about the first competitor who hasn't arrived till this morning, basically. So I guess this is it. This is a live sort of situation. When you have recitals, for example, and then the flights are cancelled, you have still to be at your best, right?
Especially in a moment like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my hand in. I will draw out a name. You will then get a sheet. So the first name I draw out will be playing first on in the competition. Kalia Kalcheva.
Kalia is actually not here yet.
Yeah. We've got 2 people who are not here yet. We're drawing for them.
Okay. First participant, Kalia Kalcheva, Scarlatti, Sonatas and Liszt, and Chopin. Not bad. And here we're going to find out how it all begins. It's very nerve-wracking for participants. It's actually nerve-wracking for me to see how it goes. And always a competition. It's excitement, but it's also nerves. And I feel this atmosphere, especially before the first participant, where there is no yet sort of sense how it will go. It's sort of when it rolls out, everyone feels so relaxed, but now it's a little tense. Hi, Kalia.
Hi.
Nice to meet
It's
you.
nice to meet you.
Thanks very much for talking to us. So you're about to start your first round. How do you feel?
A little bit of excited, a little bit of nervous, a little bit of I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's early, I haven't had much sleep, and my head is a bit all over the place, so I'm hoping to just go on stage and breathe.
And when did you arrive yesterday? Because I haven't seen you yesterday, actually.
My flight was cancelled. I had a very early morning flight. we ended up like aborting takeoff because there were birds in the engine that broke something in the engine. It was quite.
Oh my God!
I can't even
So
describe.
you actually
So I missed everything.
This morning.
I missed the piano selection, the drawing of lots, and I arrived at the hotel at 12 a.m. last night. So and then I had to be here at 7 to practice in the morning. So.
The worst thing I was told that they took the number 1 out of the draw for you.
I know, I was
What
boarding.
was your feeling?
No, so I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was like, you know, as long as I don't draw between number 1 and 10, it's fine. It's fine. And then I said bye. I boarded my flight. I sat in my seat. I opened my emails.
Yeah. And says you're number 1.
I cried in the plane. I was like, that's it.
Oh my God.
What else is gonna happen? Universe, bring it to me. No, but then, I mean, I just needed to be sad for a minute to like collect myself and try to do my best.
What are you sort of thinking, you know, why actually you're doing this competition? What will it bring to your career, your development?
I generally enjoy doing competitions. So I do the competitions because I like the preparation process. I like the kind of practicing I'm doing, the things I'm focusing on. I think they just make me evolve as a musician, and I look for things in my pieces that I wouldn't normally look for. So I enjoy the process.
What is that?
Just like the level of detail, the ideas, the imagination, the things that the precision things and like polishing things that I might overlook if I'm doing this on a short notice for a concert. I've grown up with competitions. I've done them as a child a lot. So it weirdly is kind of a sense of home when I do competitions.
Wow. I must say I've never heard yet anyone saying that competition is a sense of home. That's news to me, but I think it's an attitude to have. Well, we're going to wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
I hope that you know the worst part is kind of gone, and now it's only the best part.
I hope so too.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited.